my name's Allison. I'm the Programs Outreach and Youth Services Manager here at Monterey County Free Libraries. Thank you for joining me today for another episode of Book Chat Kids. Today I'm going to chat with you about a new book. It is called When You Trap a Tiger. It's by Tae Keller, and she is also the author of The Science of Breakable Things. And this book was the 2021 Newbery Award Winner. So that is the prize for the best book in children's literature written for youth. And this was this year's winner. So upon first look at the summary, this wasn't a book that attracted my interest, I'll be honest, but it was assigned for a book club that I'm in, and so I read it and I loved it. So I'm going to read you the inside flap summary and then I'll talk a little bit more about it. "Harmony," I whispered, "will you tell us a story?" My grandmother smiled, took a deep breath, and began with the Korean version of Once Upon a Time. Long, long ago, when Tiger walked like man. When Lily and her family move in with her sick grandmother, a magical tiger straight out of her Harmony's Korean folktales arrives, prompting Lily to unravel a secret family history. Long, long ago, Harmony stole something from the tigers. Now they want it back. And when one of the tigers approaches Lily with a deal, return what her grandmother stole in exchange for her Harmony's health, Lily is tempted to agree, but deals with tigers are never what they seem. With the help of her sister and her new friend Ricky, Lily must find her voice and the courage to face a tiger. So, like the summary says, this book follows Lily, her mother, her sister Sam, and her grandmother, who they call her Harmony, which is the Korean word for grandmother. And they move in with her Harmony at the beginning of the book, and it's not revealed right away why they're moving in with her, but as the inside summary says, it's because she is sick and her mom wants to spend time with her while she's still around. So Lily and her grandmother have a very special relationship, and she has grown up with her grandmother's folktales and stories and her grandmother's beliefs in some traditional folk magic and other things that her older sister Sam has kind of disregarded at this point in her life. And Lily, when they're driving to her grandmother's, sees a tiger in the street and is of course very alarmed to see a tiger, but quickly realizes that no one else can see the tiger. And she spots the tiger a couple of more times, and her grandmother tells her that tigers are dangerous and she should be wary of the tiger. And eventually her grandmother tells her that the tiger is coming for her because when she was a little girl in Korea, she stole the tiger's stories. And so Lily eventually meets this tiger and comes up with a deal where she will return all of the stories her grandmother stole in exchange for her grandmother's health. Along the way, Lily meets a couple of friends at the local library. She meets a boy named Ricky, who is about her age, and a girl named Jensen, who is her sister's age. And Ricky becomes her friend who helps her with trying to trap this tiger. So it combines some really cool magic elements, some fantasy elements, folktale elements, along with some very serious topics like death and grief and depression and coming of age. So this book, it's in our youth collection. I would recommend it for middle school students. Lily is about to go into 7th grade. This takes place during the summer, so Lily is in between 6th and 7th grade. I think that if you read this with a younger kid, there are some of the themes that probably won't hit home and might need some explanation. A few reviews on Goodreads from other folks said that their kids just couldn't get into it, they're younger kids. And I think that's because the overarching tone of the story is fairly heavy. There's another storyline where Lily's dad has died in a car crash. So there is a lot of death hanging over this book, but I think for any kids who are experiencing grief or going through a death, or a potential upcoming loss or death of a loved one, this is a really good book because Lily is trying to grapple with how she feels about this and how to express those feelings. So I think that this book, read with younger kids together between an adult and a younger child, would be great to have a discussion. I think it would be perfect for middle school students, and I would even recommend this up into teenagers and for adults. I always recommend kids' books for adults. So again, I hope you check it out. It's called When You Trap a Tiger. It's in our collection, and it was just lovely. Thank you so much for joining me. If there's a book you want to share with me that you've read recently that you think I should read, please let me know in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.